This is Scribe 65C. We're in a Cessna 172 at Hagerstown Regional Airport, which is KHGR. Get ready to take off at about 90 degrees to the east. As you can see in the GPS window down here on the right, we've got a little path set up for not really a left-hand traffic pattern, but more of a kind of a loop to the left-hand side. And we'll see how it goes. And I may try something interesting up around this point on the map. And I'll let you know what it is once we get up in the air. So we're going to lower flaps one notch, take off the parking brake, and full throttle. And that mountain range directly in front that you can see right over that is Frederick, Maryland, where I did my other video. See, 40 knots, 50 knots, 60, ought to be able to pull up now. Yep, got a decent rate of climb. Beautiful, partly cloudy day. I think we'll go up to about 1,600 feet, which is really about 1,000 over the surface here. I'm going to knock the throttle back a little. There you go. Beautiful terrain. That's what the countryside looks like all out here in central and western Maryland. I'm going to go ahead and pull down the ATC menu. And I'm going to request a full stop landing at Hagerstown
Tower Scribe 65 to land
on 126.37.
Make left downwind runway 9er. Altimeter 29er decimal 9er to wind 281 at 7.
All right. I'm going to acknowledge the pattern entry.
Enter left traffic runway 9er Scribe 65.
I'm going to start making a little bit of a left-hand turn, follow the GPS path. I'll knock the throttle back about 75%. I'm going to close the ATC window up so we can see more. Let's look left. Beautiful terrain there. Look right. And back forward. Continue our turn. I'm going to take the flaps off. And what I thought I'd try today is, as we're doing this little loop, is to maybe simulate an engine failure by turning the engine off and maybe going for this little grass strip airport, PA08, right there. And I have a friend of mine whose home is near there, and only they really know where it is in relation to that airport. There's some big trucking centers out in front of us here. There's many trucking warehouses, like for Walmart and things like that, along Route 81 north and south here. It's a big truck route. Oh, there it is. That PA08 is listed as JJNPK, which is about 4.75 nautical miles away. I'm trying to clean up my course a little bit. What does ATC have to say? See what they've got. I'm not going to call into that airport because I'm pretty sure it's just a grass strip with no fixed base operator there. Let's take a look in the outside view. Clouds look absolutely beautiful. What I'm amazed with is the movement and the three-dimensionality look of these clouds as they come over. They just really bring this sim to life. It's amazing. I'm of the opinion that these clouds and this terrain really make this sim what it is. It's so much better than X-Plane 11.5. All right, so I'm going to look down here in the cab. I think I'm going to turn the engine off. We'll see what happens. I can see the airstrip down there. Try to get the right view here. So we're going 82 knots. The airstrip, we're right about in line with it, luckily, which goes right about there. And my friend's house may be visible or not in this area. I just won't tell. Kind of a privacy issue, but they'll be able to see their house, I think. So the engine is off. The prop is slowing down to nothing, and I think I may put one setting of flaps down.
Scribe 65, cleared to land runway 9er.
Yeah, that's at Hagerstown ATC. I'm simulating some trouble here, so I really want to try to set down on this grass strip. Don't know if it's possible. It may crash the Cessna. I don't know if it's if it'll let me without bush plane tires on this thing, but
Scribe 65, acknowledge last transmission.
I think I'm going to do another notch of flaps.
500.
We're coming in 70 knots, maybe okay. We'll try to set her down on that strip and see what happens. I hope it don't crash. I'll still post it anyway if it crash.
Acknowledge last transmission.
Cannot ATC. Very busy. 65 knots. With no thrust.
Scribe 65, did you copy?
Yeah, copied, but can't respond. Oh man. Are we going to make it? Holy crap. Made it.
Contact ground on 120.8.
Okay, I'll contact ground. Headed PA08. Gonna try to brake here and turn it around. Had just enough momentum to turn it around.
Services terminated.
All right, terminated ATC. Going to go put the parking brake on. If I can get the lower view here. There we go. I'm going to see if we can start her back up. I'm going to run the fuel pump for a couple seconds. Make sure we got fuel in there. All right. Probably okay. And throttle back down to 0 or idle. And let's see if we can get this. I'm going to take the parking brake off and see if we can turn this around. See if we can take off from here. It's a very short grass strip. Stop it real quick. Turn it right about that direction. I think what we'll do is going to put, let's see what we got out here. We got 2 settings of flaps. I'll stay with that. And we're just going to put the brake on. Let's get full throttle. Let the brake off. See what she can do. Let's hope we can get off the ground here from the simulated engine failure emergency landing. .40 knots, 50 knots, 57 knots. Pull her up. I think we made it. Oh man, we did. We pulled it off. We're gonna bank to the right, get back on track on our GPS course as we continue to climb a little bit. Yes, the airport's dead ahead, but we're going to get back on our course to the right. Continue this flight. Looks like that's our next waypoint we're going towards. So you climb, I'm going to take it down to from 2 to 1 notches of flap. Try to get above 1,000 feet on the altimeter here, which are not really that high. It's feels a little windy for some reason with these controls right now. But look at that terrain and the mountains, the Appalachians. All right, looks like I need to turn a little bit more right to get on the GPS path that I set up for the original beginning of this flight. I'm not a pilot, but I'm looking down at the right-hand display. This red, I'm guessing, is your descent part of the path. So it looks like once you hit this, go from white to red, you start descending, I think. A pilot friend of mine that looked at the Frederick left-hand traffic video gave me some great pointers on landing the Cessna, and he flies a Cessna 172 every single day of the week, you know, for his job, training other pilots, and he said the landing speed you want to be is about 65, 70 knots, and he said to use those flaps to slow your speed down on descent. Was one of the pointers. So it looks like we're on our way at about 1800. It feels like a comfortable. I'm going to try to get the nose trimmed down a little bit. I'm going to knock the throttle back. About 75%. Feels like my RPMs have dipped. Oh, they certainly have. Looks like my control, I'll go back to about 63%. It's like my controls have disengaged from my physical control to my right here, so I just had to do that virtually in the cockpit there. So we kind of roll around to the left here. I increased the terrain depth that it's doing from 100 to 130. I've noticed about a 8 to 10 frame per second loss. So I'm probably going to back it off to 110, 100 after this flight. So I think what I want to do is start pulling the throttle back a little for descent. It looks like we're on that red descent glide path as we start to make our way to the airport. We're at 80 something knots, 80 knots, and slowing. Might need a little more back again. Get a little bit more in there. 50 something. A nice, whoops, little overturn. Just straighten out a little bit. Alright, looks like it's picking up speed a little bit, which is good. But it's probably kind of slow. I'm going to take it out to the right. I've got to give it some more. Something's happening with the throttle. I've got to do this manually here. Yeah, lost some speed. Well, there's the airport. So I'm going to take it out to the right a little bit. And I do want to let them know we're coming in. Go back. Hagerstown. Whoops. Nearest airport. Hagerstown Regional. Request full stop.
Hagerstown Tower, Scribe 653 miles west to land. Scribe 65 Hagerstown Tower. Fly straight in runway 9er. Altimeter 29er.9er to wind 281 at 7.
Check.
Scribe 65 cleared to land runway 9er. Wind 281 at 7.
Alright, we're going to acknowledge the clearance.
Cleared to land runway 9er, Scribe 65.
Close this up a little bit, and it looks like we're coming in pretty high. Need to do some adjustments again here. Just gotta get that throttle way down. And I think a notch of flaps. One more notch of flaps. Okay, hopefully it'll slow down a little as we're cruising in. 77, 78, a little fast. We get the throttle to idle. Almost to 70. Let's do a little flare at the bottom here. All right, actually not a bad touchdown. A little messy coming in though. And I'm going to try to figure out why there is a friggin' bus on the runway. I'm going to turn this next taxiway here. Get off like they asked me to. Actually, I think I'm on the cross runway. Just going to get off of this thing. Alright, I'll just stop it here, and this is Scribe 65C out. It was kind of fun showing you all kind of a simulated emergency landing on that grass airstrip near a friend's house. So, thanks everybody. Scribe 65C out.